Welcome back to Papa Meat. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down. We have a delicious one, I would say, for you today. We are diving deep into the world of celebrity chefs.
It's raw. It's fucking raw.
Yes, I am going to redesign some of the world's most infamous, most celebrated chefs of all time. So I think today we're going to tackle Gordon Ramsay, Guy Fieri, and I think that we're going to make our new chef. We need a new chef for the people. I want to design the chef who cooks for all of Hogwarts and Harry Potter. You know, we have one scene in the movie where Dumbledore just like magically brings it in, but I feel like there's more to that. I feel like there has to be a kitchen in Hogwarts and there has to be a chef for it. And that, my friends, is a celebrity chef worth creating. But before we get into all this delicious art, here's a word from our sponsors. Are you experiencing hair loss? You need Keeps. Keeps is a discreet online subscription service that delivers hair care right to your door. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair you have, Keeps has you covered. With Keeps, you get a doctor-recommended hair loss treatments that are personalized to your situation. In just 6 months, you'll start to see the difference. Keeps is committed to you and your hair growth needs. They provide 24/7 support with easy access to medical advisors, and they even give you refill reminders so you don't fall out of your routine. Don't be like the 2 out of 3 men that experience hair loss at the age of 35. Choose to keep your hair with Keeps. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/popmeat or click the link in the description. That's keeps.com/papameat. Back to the video. All right, welcome back from the sponsor. So I think we're going to start off with Gordon first. I'm going to do this, and it's going to be Gordon Ramsay's Ratatouille on Disney+. It's a children's cooking show where children have to balance little rats on their head while they cook. But Gordon's too good to just have a rat on his head. He actually had them cut open all the wrinkles on his head, and they stuffed an entire fucking nest of rats in his head. And it's just crawling around his head, and they help him taste shit. But the kids are, cooking stuff, and they're like, "My rat's name's Jelly Bean." And the fucking rat just falls into a scalding hot pan of fried chicken. And they're like, no, God! And then Gordon just can come over and just be like, "All right, love, you're done. Get out. Challenge over." That has to be a rule, is that the rat has to remain on your head the whole time, or else you lose. And if the rat falls off and it just doesn't die, Gordon comes over with a meat mallet and just beats the shit out of it right in front of the child, scarring him. It just cuts to him just fucking malleting down a rat into ground beef. He gets down on the kid's level, looks in his face, he's just like, "Piss off!" Because he yells at people. That's the joke. But the prize of Gordon Ramsay's new show on Disney Plus has to be that whatever child wins gets to be the voice of the rat in the movie. So they get like a big part, so there is stakes to win, but there's also just the emotional and mental abuse of having like an emotionally attached animal. So it's like you go through the whole course of the season, these children become extremely attached to these rats, and one by one they just get smashed and killed right in front of their faces. So even if you do win, you went through an entire show watching your new friends as like an 8-year-old just get their entire hopes and dreams and their newfound friends just smashed right in front of their face. "Jessica, come forward." She's like balancing the rat, because even during the trial period, they have to balance the rat on their head. "This peanut butter and jelly sandwich is awful." And she's like, "Okay, right." And it's just like the rat's just like shitting on her forehead and stuff. And she's like, "Gabriel, stop." "But you didn't cut off the crust. Therefore, you are the loser tonight." And like 2 fucking grown men just like grab her, push her down. The rat falls down and tries to run out. He smashes his foot on its tail. It's like... He puts it up on the table and just smashes it in front of everybody. So after every episode, whenever like the kids are like the remaining kids who are still on the show, they like have like a giant like McDonald's play place, and he just says, "You all did a great job. Go play." And he turns around and walks off, and the kids are balancing the rats and like trying to like go down slides and stuff. But he's up in a tower and with binoculars looking at the play place for the kids. Mommy, sign me up for Gordon Ramsay's Ratatouille. Oh, fuck. Whatever, that's Gordon Ramsay. Is that good enough? So I wanted to make the chef character of Hogwarts. I was watching the first Harry Potter movie when, I don't know why they cast that Dumbledore, who was like 3 weeks away from dying, that actor who was 104 years old. Silence! But you know that part in the first movie where he's like, "Let the festivities begin. And like all the food just comes everywhere and it's a very magical moment. In my mind, I was like, who's actually cooking that? Because I don't think he can just manifest food. I think that he probably just took it from one room of the building to the other. So I imagine somewhere in Hogwarts, buried deep, deep away, there's just this chained up fucking monster cooking all sorts of shit. So let's go. There's a type of mystical creature called like an oof. They're just like, I don't know, little... just mystical creatures that live in woods and shit. I don't know. It's just an oof. But I wanted to make my own that is this oof that is a cooking creature that gets to cook for his family. So it's an oof in the mystical forest of Harry Potter's world called Puddles. But Dumbledore sends out Hagrid to fucking steal him, and they just basically keep him chained up in the Hogwarts kitchen. And they changed his name to Gert. So they emotionally abuse the fuck out of this guy. And the whole thing with this guy, too, is that he has a ton of kids. I mean, like, they reproduce like crazy. And his extreme joy is to cook for large crowds. So it's like the job seems like it'd be good, but it's mostly just for family. So, you know, Dumbledore's just like, oh, but they love to cook. They love to cook for crowds, don't you, Gert? Like, petting his fucking, like, his giant hat head. But anytime that that Gert refuses to cook, of course, Hagrid just comes in and just beats him with a belt. He takes it off and he's like, all right, Mr. Gert, are you gonna cook or not? He's just like, Gert! You know, or he's just like, you know, probably says his name at first. He's like, Puddles! Puddles! And Hagrid just takes off his belt and just beats the shit out of him. And then if he lasts through that and he's just like, Puddles will not cook. Then they go foraging through the fucking mystical forest and they find one of Gert's kids and they just fucking cook him and eat him in front of him. And Gert's like, no! Actually, I lied. This is actually a real character in the series. Gert is actually a real character that was supposed to be in the third book. It was never supposed to be Prisoner of Azkaban. It was supposed to be Gert's Kitchen, Harry Potter and Gert's Kitchen. But the whole thing was supposed to be, so instead of like letting the Griffin free, Harry it was supposed to be Gert. But people they just could not sympathize with Gert as a character at all. So they apparently just liked to see him chained up. And then also more questions arose like financially of how the kids would, you know, eat. It just kind of broke the mystique of everything, so they ended up just kind of scrapping Gert as a whole. But Gert has never been forgotten, at least not in my household. There he is. That's what he looks like. All right, so with Guy Fieri, the Flavor Town man himself.
I don't know why.
My favorite thing was that clip where he's eating some chicken in front of like this black chef, and he says, "Oh, that's a gangsta." It's like, he says a bunch of crazy shit, but I don't know, that clip is just really funny. So Guy has just atrocious hair that, I mean, every follicle in his head must be absolutely dead. So I think we're just going to do porcupine tendrils instead, and we'll have it be this thing where he can pull out his porcupine tendril, he stabs the food he wants to eat, some grease, he has like these greasy, acidic like gel that comes out of his head, he dabs his food in it, and he has very soft teeth, so that's what helps it break down a little faster, and he eats it with his very marshmallow soft teeth. It's bussin'! Ooh, that's a banger. And the thing about Guy, too, is that he has so many goddamn shows. I mean, there's like Driver's Driver's Show. Pretty sure that's how you say it.
So right here, right now, on Drivers Didn't Drive Die. Drivers.
So I just want to elevator pitch some because apparently there's handing them out over there. I want to be an executive producer. I think we need to follow something better like Guy Fieri's last vow. We follow his like third or fourth marriage, and it's just him prepping for his wedding and all the food that comes with that. But the kicker of that show is that we get to see him have a very public and sloppy divorce. So that's how the series can cap off. It'll be nice. Or I know that there's a thing where apparently Guy cooks for firefighters during, like, in California whenever fires happen. So the last show that I would pitch is Guy Fieri's Fire Starters, where he goes around the country and just starts fires so he can connect with blue-collar firefighter workers and cook for them in a show. But he gets to also destroy the environment while he's doing it. It's very banging. It's very bussin'. All right, that's Guy. Celebrity chefs. An important... Celebrity chefs, an important piece to media, an important place in all of our hearts. And I hope after this video today, you'll cook yourself up something nice to eat for dinner tonight and unwind after a busy work day. Also, we got some outtakes. We have behind the scenes stuff on the Patreon. If you want to support the channel, sign up for a free sticker. all that kind of shit. Just check out the Patreon. We got good shit there. If you want to be a member of the meat team, sign up for the Patreon. It helps the channel a lot. I love you all. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.